sir. It is going to be Hanamura. And yeah, I do agree with the desk on that one, right? You know, especially considering how EnVy likes to play this one out. It's like they haven't quite figured out what they want to do on Hanamura, which is very odd for this team.
Yeah, and I mean, we have seen Renegades have some success on Hanamura, but then, you know, when we get into the later game, they try and fall back on, you know, this kind of comp that, I mean, we've seen it before. It's Orisa, Torb, Symmetra. It hasn't worked. I mean, the second time they ran it...
Third time's a charm.
It hasn't worked. The second time they ran it, they were able to last a little bit longer than the first time, but still, they have not been able to make that work. On the defensive side of thing, I do agree, though, with Johnny, where I think you do need the Winston instead of the Reinhardt, and at least, you know, it'll be EnVy on defense first. You will see Coco, at least here at the start, obviously still some time to make some changes, have the Winston out, so we'll see if this is what EnVy decides to stick with.
Yeah.
And no, this series has been quite close, Alex. I mean, Lijiang Tower comes down to the final point, right? EnVy, they use an Earth Shatter and a Grab to keep Renegades from getting onto the point they take that first map. The last one, Renegades, you know, they complete the map, they set a decent time. They just, you know, the second go-around on offense, it was just a comp and then switches that really didn't make much of any sense, as we see here EnVy on defense, just playing some games here. Oh, everybody jumping across here.
Maybe trying to stop the Ana from jumping. That's a good teammate there.
So we see Taimu on the Genji here, and no effect on the Tracer. So, you know, where Johnny said, you know, you had the Reinhardt and you maybe weren't putting a lot of pressure and you weren't being the aggressors, things are definitely looking like they're going to change for EnVy here on defense.
Maybe it's just a matter that EnVy feels like they could do that here versus going up against FaZe. They probably didn't have the confidence. Again, a very, you know, broad and outlandish statement I could make, EnVy not having confidence, but when you have a team like FaZe who are really good at dive, that does, you know, make sense in a way. But in any case, so the doors are open now. It's going to be time for Renegades to attack here. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, now Renegades will have Jesus on the Widowmaker. You'll have you know, Zachary and Mangachu running the Genji and the Tracer. So just going to try and go through the door, open up some lines of sight here for Jesus to make an impact.
And Reinforced did mention it before. He said you want to be able, hit him with the zigzags, but it won't matter. You're just going to shoot him in the face. Harry Hook is going to go down. And Reinforced said you want to have the Winston to dive into it, be aggressive. And it, you know, has worked to an extent, but you know, just I think Renegades have a lot of confidence running this comp against EnVy in Hanamura. Keep in mind, this was their choice. Jesus waiting for that player to just creep around the corner. Effect still being a pain in the neck in the back line.
It is the same thing on King's Road towards the end. I know Effect
nice
Hero
shot.
drop there as the nice shot comes in from Jesus, but it's bought enough time for Harry Hook to get back into the fight. Chips now has earned his nano boost.
Chips.
So, you know, Effect just buying his teammate some time to kind of reset here.
Jesus trying to get an angle. That infra sight gave him a lot of knowledge. As we switch over, Mangachu now on to the Tracer, which is something you see here and there. Renegades are going to be on the point. Mickey's going to be in a bit of a pickle here. Really low on health. They're getting the kills. And Renegades now super close to being able to make this first tick happen. Taimu's going to be in the back. Gets picked off by Chips. His shots with Ana, just absurd. They do get that first tick, though, and it looks like Renegades will be able to make this one happen.
Yeah, it was a big kill from Mangachu at the beginning onto Chips, because then, you know, EnVy does not have the nano boost to use in the fight. It'll be Renegades taking point A, unlocking point B with a decent amount of time. And towards the end there, Taimu actually uses his Dragon Blade. So
yeah,
doesn't get anything for it. We'll see how long he stays on Genji.
And we have Jesus on your site yet again. In your screen. Good job with the Widowmaker. Really getting some good shots. Jesus, I think, was without a doubt the thing that they were definitely missing. You know, you had Corey fill in. Nothing against, you know, him, but Jesus has just really performed very well. And just I say that, he's going to get picked off by Taimu in the back line. You're going to have the beat drop there, but they don't really get too aggressive. They're kind of, you know, turtling up here, and EnVy still getting kills.
So they try and use the sound barrier and go in through the bottom instead of going for the high ground. But it's Coco down there with the Primal Rage, just keeps knocking players back, putting in a ton of damage. A few kills go over to Taimu. Stops that push there from Renegades, which now Renegades, you don't have your sound barrier to engage. You would have liked the sound barrier, plus your Dragon Blade combo. And now EnVy, it allows them, you know, with that fight, all they had to use was the Primal Rage there. Now you start to build up towards both of your support ults. You already have the nano boost. You just earned the sound barrier, and you're going to have a Dragon Blade of your own.
I do like Jesus making the switch to the 76 too, right? They could make that push to the high ground, what we've seen in the past, but it seems like they're going to go right through the gut yet again. Pulse Bomb is going to drop down, doesn't get a kill on that one though. Mangachu just going to stay on the point. Finally, EnVy's going to go in for the contestment. There goes the Transcendence as well as Zachary looking to get a couple picks, but the Diva Bomb flies up in the sky. Doesn't get a kill, but it is going to push everyone away for the time being. Mickey is going to get taken out, but they will have that spawner's advantage. Remember that, folks, because the spawn is going to be right behind that point. So when they get these kills, they have to do it very quickly. And EnVy just not letting that happen. They won't be able to get that first tick. They stop it right in its tracks. 4 minutes, 17 seconds left to go here for Renegades push.
Yeah, Renegades tries to engage with a sound barrier in their Dragon Blade. The sound barrier then comes out for the side of EnVyUs. And then you saw Coco get the benefits of the Nano Boost, dive in deep, put some damage onto the side of Renegades, take them out. So now I know Jesus, like you mentioned on the 76, getting closer towards that Tactizer, potentially playing for that high ground. And now Mangachu, he'll switch off of the Tracer, he'll go over to the Diva. Obviously the defense matrix going to be huge.
They keep
for
pushing
Renegades.
low.
Yeah, they keep going low, and now Effect here on the Doomfist could be a lot of problems, right? If you keep going down low, if you're Renegades on the attack, so many close quarter areas for him to land these punches.
Look at that. He just isolated the Zen from them. I mean, if, he will get back to his team. And, just like say that, I mean, I don't think they're really going to want the Zen in that one regardless because they get those kills. They get 3 kills. Jesus is going to pop Tact Visor. Taimu now with the Dragon Blade. Does he get a few kills here? Is he just getting shut down? And they do manage to get the kill, but Jur was the victim of that one. Mangachu follows up right away. The Nano Boost on to Coco. Just looking to output a lot of damage here. Primal Rage is going to be in effect now. And they're pushing back Renegades again. Still no progress made with 3 minutes left on the clock.
Well, it's big you get Jur out of that fight if you're EnVy because he's the one that's closest towards his support ult. So you get, maybe a potential sound barrier if you Renegades towards the end there. That fight goes a little bit longer. Maybe you're able to pull it out because you also get your Dragon Blade as well. So we'll see now for Renegades. They have to have an idea that Harry is getting closer towards the sound barrier.
This looks like a winning push to me. Like, they have a lot to work with.
It's just whether they can use that sound barrier to engage with the Dragon Blade, and then also you have that Transcendence. This is where it may hurt EnVy not having that Zenyatta as the it's going to be the sound barrier that comes in with the Dragon Blade.
And they want to force out some of these ults. They do manage, though, to get 2 kills there using the beat. The sound barrier gives those extra shields. Renegades now onto the point. Effect going to try and see if he can make something happen, but they are going to have the Transcendence there to maintain their composure in this fight. EnVy kind of scrambling to get onto the point and contest it. Despite that, they still have that spawner's advantage. They still will be able to go in, but 2 ticks have been earned for Renegades, and they're so close. There goes the sound barrier, though. It is going to catch a couple members of the boys in blue, but still, it will be red on the left side. They get the kills, they get the point, and they get 2.
They try and Nano Boost Harry there because he's so close to the sound barrier that maybe he's able to get in, but it looked like if Coco, Chips maybe holds on to it for a second. He has Coco coming out of the left side of the spawn. Maybe he's able to land the Nano Boost on the him, even buy some more time for EnVy as we take some, look here at some of Jesus' headshots there. The first one on to Harry. Harry's just playing games behind the rock, right? Eventually he's going to get picked, but the second one onto Effect is pretty nice.
Try to hit him with the zigzags. Ended up just taking a bullet to the face. So, at the end of the day, those skates, not helping them all that much. All right, now it's going to be EnVy's turn to attack here. See what they could do. Does Renegades, do they run the Pharah Mercy? Okay, maybe not. What do you think?
I don't know. Mangachu, it looks like, with the way they're going right now, we could see them switching. Zachary goes over to Genji. Mangachu will go over to Diva, so you're not going to see the Pharah Mercy on defense.
I'm perfectly fine with this.
Yeah,
I like
so
it when Renegades just play it normally. Just don't do anything out of the ordinary. Just it worked. You're getting good synergy there. You're getting good kills. I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I think it's just whether they can find the kills in the dive. EnVy, Effect on the Tracer is so good, right? He gets back towards Sherlocky and Jur. He's going to kill them. You don't have the Zen there. Zen obviously, more than Ana, provides a little bit more damage, a little bit better defense against a Tracer. Where now, if you're Sherlocky and Jur, if he gets back there and you do not have Mangachu to help, you're going to die. Effect's going to be able to take you out, and then EnVy has such a great spawn advantage here on the first point on Hanamura. Eventually, they'll be able to take point A.
Well, Effect is going to be the player to watch, as he usually is for any game that EnVy plays. One of, if not the best tracer, definitely North America and probably the world. Let's see if Effect can manage to dive into the back line here, manage to harass the supports. I don't even think it's going to matter all that much. They force back Sherlocky. He's going to be in a world of hurt.
Like, where is the help?
Yeah, they just let them get right in there. And now look, Jur's just going to be trapped in a bad place, and now they end up losing out on their supports. This is just going to be easy pickings there onto Mangachu and EnVy. They just established control early on to point A.
Okay, I mean, you just left your supports out to dry there. I mean, Sherlocky and Jur get pushed so far back. I mean, we're on board with EnVy during that entire sequence, but I mean, at one point, did you see anybody kind of fall back for Renegades to help those two guys out?
Mangachu tried, and then, you know, he ended up just becoming Swiss cheese. So, you know, I mean, tried and failed ultimately, and EnVy, they're going to get that capped so early, the first engagement, and that's going to do it for them. In effect, does considerable damage to Mangachu, is going to demech him with that pulse bomb. And here he goes. It just Effect one more time onto the back line. Sherlocky by himself has to fight his way out of this one. Gets sleep darted though, so at the very least, Effect was able to, or I should say, Sherlocky was able to defend himself there. They are getting kills though. They do have the man advantage thus far. EnVy looking to have to back away here. This isn't a winnable fight. They need to get back their diva. They need to get back their, you know, their DPS and regroup.
They get one tick though, and they earn both support ults. So you know, on the side of EnVy that no Renegades now they only have the Zenyatta Transcendence, right? I mean, you're not going to be able to sustain with a nano boost. Maybe you put it onto one player. So really, you're just worried about Jur getting that Transcendence. You have both your support ults to get through it, and then potentially a Taimu Dragon Blade to put things away.
Push onto the right side for EnVy now. Let's see what they do with this. Barely anyone's going to be up top to meet them. Coco goes right into the back lines. Mickey just continuing to provide support in the high ground there along with the diva shots. He's going to drop the pulse bomb. Effect gets the kill onto Jur. That's going to be 3 down despite Mangachu evening the odds though. Oh my goodness gracious. They're just forcing them back here. Mickey still managing with that pulse bomb. Let's see if he's going to, or excuse me, with the diva bomb. Let's see if he uses that. But the Transcendence is going to come through now. They still have that one ult to use. They haven't made any progress though. So Renegades still continuing to keep this one going, still continuing to keep this one in their favor for the time being because of that spawner advantage. They use Mei to just try and stall things out. You want to use that ice block to keep yourself in the fight. Coco in the back line continuing to harass, but they realize it's just not an engagement that they're going to win, and they have to regroup yet again.
Yeah, and it's still only one tick for EnVyUs, and that did not go well for Renegades at the beginning. They let Coco and Effect to get into the back line, and they were able to take out Jur. He was the only support ult that Renegades had, and they were able to just, you know, withstand long enough, you know, through a Sound Barrier, Transcendence, and a Taimu Dragon Blade to get back onto the point with the Transcendence. Sherlocky goes over to a Mei. He stalls it out a little bit longer, but EnVy now, they invested a ton of ults into that fight. Maybe Effect gets his, you know, tack visor here and the other make something happen because you just
tanks.
well, and that you demeched Mangachu. That's the hugest part about it.
Yeah, you demech both tanks now. Sherlocky and Jur hanging out in the back. They can't really do much. They want to contest, but they're just going to get shut down as soon as they push forward. So they got to wait for the tanks to come up. Good thing that spawner advantage is there for Renegades, but Primo just walks out, immediately dies. Effect with the tack visor, and Mei is out yet again. Sherlocky just looking to keep things going here, keep it stalled out, but he will die in that one. Transcendence is out. Mickey goes in so he can get that added healing. And this has been a brutal fight here for Renegades, but they keep getting back onto the point. They keep fighting this one out, and they're doing, you know, a decent job thus far. But just as I say that, they're just getting shut down, though. And drop the diva. Oh, no, please, not the little, oh, dear Lord, that was just brutal. It's just the poor thing. She just had a movie. She just had a short film come out about her. You can't do that to her. Hollywood needs her.
Yeah, it's going to be the Sound Barrier plus Dragon Blade here as EnVy trying to end it. You still have Mickey with the diva self-destruct as see players just switching like crazy for Renegades, trying to stall this out as long as possible. Jur, though, comes off a spawn. He has his Sound Barrier. Now you're starting to pick up some kills for Renegades.
They managed to win this one and hold them back. Second tick is earned for EnVy. Still 3 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock. I was flabbergasted there. that Mickey was holding nothing back. Just shooting the crap out of May's face. Poor thing.
You know, Sherlock able to stall for a little bit. You get your teammates back in. You had a fire strike that came through, I believe, from Primo Dolce, I think. I know when he switches over to Ryan, and now you switch all the way back. And
when they do this, they're just not gaining ult.
Yeah, but the only thing is right, your supports are not really gaining a ton towards their ult. Jur, you know, he uses the sound barrier in that fight, but now because of Sherlock forced to switch, he's going to be not even building towards that nano boost very quickly. As you see, Attack Visor comes in from effect. You're able to get rid of Mangachu. You get rid of Jur as well. Now we'll see EnVy back on the attack.
They can get the kill onto Jesus. I mean, Jesus doing his best job to stay alive. Look at effect. Back on the high ground he goes. May back out for the stalls. And again, you're just not building anything. And Mickey just is all over him. Does get frozen, but May will get taken out there. Taimu's going to have the Dragon Blade now. Cuts right through. Mangachu's dead, as the players are just gonna funnel through the spawn room. This is just not looking good for Renegades. They have one player left to keep them alive. They got off of it for a second, and EnVy were able to make it happen with 2:04 left on the clock. A lot of stall tactics used by Renegades to try and bring that time down.
For how much time that EnVy had to attack point B,
that's
it's a pretty
7 minutes.
good hold there for Renegades. Yeah, I mean, a lot of just stall tactics used on the point. At one point for Renegades, you had 3 tanks out. You had like a Ryan, a Diva, and a Winston. You had Sherlock go over to the May pretty consistently, you know, trying to stall this out. It'll be Renegades on offense, EnVy on defense. Let's see if they switch anything up.
Maybe bust out that Orisa, Symmetra, Torb combo, man.
Nope. Don't think we'll see that out of EnVy. I don't want to speak for Renegades.
It's proven to work.
It's proven not to work. We've not seen it work.
Listen,
at all.
60% of the time, it works every time.
It's a lie. It's a lie, and you know it. It has not worked. Taimu, so he'll be going Widow, at least at the start here on defense, and Effect will be running the Tracer. So this is a change up from Taimu running Genji pretty much the entire time on the defense.
Gonna look to play high ground, get some picks. And I think Renegades, they're gonna have to respect this one, you know, when they make their way out through the door here.
So I'm happy to see Renegades go with something a little bit more standard as opposed to like how they did on King's Row, where they had a good offense and they just kind of threw it all away. At least this time you were seeing them run a semblance of the same comp. The only difference they had before was Jesus was on Widow, and then they had Mangachu on Tracer.
All right, here we go. It's going to be Renegade's second attack here. They know that the Widow is out now. They heard that shot go through. They make their way right through the left side. And, you know, minimal pushback from EnVy. Now they're going to meet onto the point. And I believe, is that both supports hanging out over there on the side? So they're not going to really have their supports in this fight. They got to start making their way forward here, which they do manage to make happen. But still, they lost out on their tanks so early in this fight. And that just has to sting, right? When you lose the tank so quickly, you just have no health to stay alive there. The supports were out of the equation, and EnVy hold.
And you see Taimu switch over to McCree, so he kind of gets pushed back to the point on the Widow, not in a great spot. Jesus deals with him quite easily, so now you'll see a switch coming in from EnVyUs. So Renegades, you know, maybe 2 more attacks here at best to try and take point A.
I mean, this could just be one long, dragged-out attack. Here we go yet again. Just gets sleep darted. Taimu's there to respond. Great sleep there. Great sleep dart from the Ana. Chip so good with that hero. Here comes Zachary though with the Dragon Blade now, and he just gets dominated by Coco. Despite that though, he was able to demech Mickey. Mangachu left alive here, just gonna have to back away, and I think you're right, X. I mean, maybe one more attack at best. Primal Rage does go out for Coco now. They do get the kill on effect. He will join the action pretty quickly, but Renegades could use this to their advantage here as they look to re-engage.
Well, they have Mickey demeched. He's getting very close to getting the mech back, and then Chips also has a nano boost here. As Renegades, they get on the point. EnVy trying here for one more retake. Look to see the nano boost come in on a Coco and get him on the point.
They get one tick. Do they get the second tick? I believe they're really close to making this one happen. Jesus dancing around the point here. Mickey low health, trying his best to stay alive. It just, he needs his teammates there, and luckily they do come in, but he won't have the mech for the fight. Diva Bomb goes through. Good night, Jur. They are going to stop this one in its tracks. Primo, he gets biotic nated, debuffed, and dead. GG on that one. They don't get a point, but they get some progress, 64%.
Yeah, EnVy opened that up. They put the nano boost on Coco. They bring him around the front side of the point, and they end up just funneling Renegades like all the way back towards that top staircase. And then they just drop that Diva self-destruct right in it when they have Sherlock using the Transcendence, and there's nowhere for Renegades to really go. So Renegades, it's a valiant effort there on offense, and oh man, here it comes on D's. They held for 2 ticks. No, they have 2 minutes to go here. No, we do not. Look, normally we would write this off on the defensive end, but from what we've seen from Renegades, I will not write anything off on defense. Are they like
scrimming and it's working against other teams? Like,
I don't know.
They love this.
I don't know. All right, well.
I think ZP's face palming very hard right now.
All right, so Jesus will switch off of the Bastion here. So we will still, though, have the Holy Trinity of Torbjorn, Orisa, Symmetra.
Holy Trinity. I think this is the point where I say that, Monty did want me to deliver a message and say that, he's just disappointed in Renegades. So
how could you be disappointed in this, though?
That hurts.
Look at Torb. He's building. He's getting ready to go.
Hammering with
He's got his best friend Orisa there with him. So they're going to get ready to hold on defense. We don't know how long they're going to hold for, but they're going to attempt to do it. So
I mean, 2 minutes is doable. They held 2 minutes last time, so let's not make fun of it now, X.
Look, I mean, maybe you just keep spamming the choke. Timer can't really get there to do a lot on the McCree. I'm trying to figure out a way this works, right? As Effect takes out Symmetra within the first 30 seconds, so you're not going to be able to build towards that teleporter any longer.
Yeah, that's probably going to hurt. But hey, if Jesus is able to dive in the back line and, he took out Chips. So no supports really to work with at this point. They might be able to hold this one off, especially because the turret, no one's touching it, and it's doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, but it's level 1. I mean, they're forced to rebuild the turret, and that's really been the problem, as you see Primo Dolce, though, on the Orisa, just mowing through players on the point. They know Effect is still here, kind of lingering, behind enemy lines, but the issue is now you're going to have to see Mangachu rebuild this Torbjorn turret.
I'm actually happy that Jur did that. Jur switched to Lucio just to give them added sustain, keep them in the fight at the very least. It's better than this.
Well, he's not going to get the teleporter, right? I mean, you're not going to be able to get back and set the turrets back up. So you may as well switch off the Symmetra. There goes the Torbjorn turret. So now Mangachu going to be forced to remake it as he's very close to Molten Core here.
Yeah, if he gets Molten Core, that's going to become a level 3, and then he could push and do a lot of damage. 46 seconds left on the clock. They are going to take out Coco. There goes the EMP, though, from Taimu, who's going to use Sombra to just disrupt them in the back. Mangachu, though, does manage to get a kill. They're still holding. They're holding, X, I believe.
And they still have the Molten Core here, and you still have your Orisa ult. The Molten Core comes down from Mangachu as he's just going to keep using that hammer.
Build that thing. Go for it.
Build
hammer
the turret.
away. It's hammer time, baby.
As it's only 20 more seconds. Will this work?
This is not happening. If they do this, I think Bren might eat his blazer. I think he might eat his blazer. Coco, he's gonna die. Oh my God, they're gonna do this. Bren, I hope you like deep fried blazer, buddy, because you're gonna eat it. They might be able to make this one happen. X, I'm so excited.
Mickey gets to the point, though. It's gonna be Attack Visor coming in for Zachary. It's gonna be the Sound Barrier and Transcendence coming in here for EnVy. The turret is gone. It's going to be, actually Jur drops as he's calling down the Sound Barrier there for Renegades.
No!
It's a huge kill as things are falling apart for Renegades here.
It all falls down.
Oh, no.
Oh, the humanity. Oh, man, the dream. I was so excited to see Bren eat a freaking soup blazer.
And maybe if they're able to get the Sound Barrier down, that's a little bit different. But Jur, you can hear him. He's jumping up to drop the beat. Falls before he hits the ground. So EnVy will win Hanamura in crazy fashion there at the end. As Renegades' dream is to make that comp work. They almost did it there.
Third time was almost a charm. Maybe the fourth. We'll see. But anyway.
Every time they bring it out, the other team has less and less time. So I don't know how you kind of equate how good they've been in each attempt. But
if they manage to drop the beat on that one. We could have been singing a different tune.
I still don't think they win it, but it's just me.
I believe.
You believe. You're the only one.
You know what? I think there's some people in the chat who believe it as well. You know,
I don't know.
They believe. They really wanted to make it work. Anyway, we were so close to seeing Bren eat a blazer. The dream is dead. But for now, though, let's just go ahead and send it to a commercial break. And when we come back, we'll wallow in our own self-pity in the meantime. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, for our final matchup here between Envy and Rogue. Theoretically, you know, Envy, you see it right there, kind of won this series out. And you know what? I do want to say something real fast. Not what I was going to tell you before, but I predicted all these maps.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, pretty good about that.
They were easy. Renegades obviously out of this series down 0-3. Going into Dorado, though, this is one where they can potentially run Far Mercy on offense. with Manganchu on the Farah, Sherlocki on the Mercy, maybe make something happen here against Envy. They'll try and get another map win on the board. They have one, I believe, so far this season, trying to get another.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you anyway. Do you think in an alternate universe where Renegades won, how do you think that would just shake up the landscape of Overwatch esports?
It wouldn't. I mean, nothing would really change. I mean, my life would pretty much be the exact same as it is right now.
We all would have just witnessed the transcendence.
Look, it would be pretty hype, right? I know in this crazy alternate universe, I know Renegades would be one map away from forcing a game 5, maybe. But still, I would not like their chances here on Dorado. So,
I mean, well, Renegades, they have proven that when they can run the Far Mercy, they find success. Especially in these first 2 points. It's when you get into last, that's when things start to get a little tricky because the Pharah can be shut down a bit more. And, you know, that's when those, like, DPSs such as 76 and McCree can really punish a Pharah. So, because you don't have that free reign to move around as much as you would like with being outside.
Well, I think here's the other thing, too, that works against Renegades, right? Is when they run the Pharah Mercy, you have Mangachu on the Pharah, you have Sherlocky on the Mercy. Then when they want to go away from it, you know, if you want Mangachu to run something else, let's say, you know, you primarily put him on either, you know, D.Va or Zarya. If Zachary is actually running the other tank in that, you swap out those 3 players, and now you're resetting your ults on, you know, one of your tanks, one of your supports, in a DPS. So you're losing out on a lot of just ultimate usage. Like, look, in this comp, let's say, the way they're setting up here at the beginning, if you want to switch off with the Pharah Mercy, you know, maybe you have, you know, Mangachu, what could he run? I mean,
he could run, he could run like a, well, he would have to switch to a D.Va. Or,
right, but then you're forcing Zachary to switch off of D.Va. Then you're having Sherlocky switch off of the Mercy.
You could just say F it and run,
so,
run Zarya.
What do you do, right? I mean, run Zarya and run triple tank with a Tracer? Like, that's not great. So I think it's either feast or famine for Renegades with this comp. It'll be a fist from effect. You know, puts a lot of damage down on a Primo Dolce. Harry Hook finishes him off as see now Mangachu in the sky, putting down some rockets here. Just trying to stay out of the line of sight of Taimu.
And they're going to be able to progress the payload a little bit here. Still continuing to get contested as they force out Coco just a little bit, but not enough to really just, you know, dislodge him from the fight. Still getting a lot of, you know, free poke building up onto that ult. Now here comes the engage. This is something that Renegades very good at being able to execute on, but effect with the kill there on Primo again. Primo dying early one more time. It certainly hurts out to lose the Winston like that. Pulse Bomb, though, comes through. Jesus looking to bring back the fight. There goes, I think I heard the Deadeye out for Taimu, so he was going to try and shut someone down or at least zone them out here.
Yeah, it just forces some players back. So it just buys Envy some more time. You see Mickey switch over to the D.Va here. He's going to try and eat up a lot of the damage that Mangachu is laying down. See Sherlocky hiding in the back here, has the res at his disposal. Envy's going to get both of their support ults here. Let's see if they realize that Sherlocky already has this res.
They're just going to have to be very cautious about this one. There goes the barrage. It rains on down. They do manage to take out Mickey with that one. Fortunately, Mangachu is going to die, but he will be brought right back to life there, courtesy of Sherlocky. Brings Primo, brings Mango back into the fight. Jerd drops the beat there. And now this is looking like a fight that Renegades could potentially win, especially if they're able to take out Coco here. There was the Earth Shatter drop down and payload so close to being able to get that first point on the board as Envy go back in, but they won't be able to do it in time to get pushed back, and that's going to be a point for Renegades.
Yeah, Envy invests you know, both their support ults into the fight. They used the Nano Boost and the Sound Barrier. Coco used an Earth Shatter. There towards the end, you see Primo use his Primal Rage when they already like kind of completed the point. So I don't know what the comms were like at that moment in time, but now for Renegades, you see they're going to switch off of the Pharah Mercy. So Mangachu is going to go over to D.Va. You're going to have Zachary run the Genji, and you're going to have Sherlocky switch off of Mercy. He's going to go over the Zenyatta.
They use that res, so at the very least, this isn't as painful as I guess you were, or we were anticipating at the start of the game, right? They still have a lot of time to work with, and you know they swapped out at an opportune moment here. Envy picks up 2 to, you know, push the tide in their favor. And Jesus, I mean, he has been having a pretty solid series thus far, I have to say. You know, especially going up against a team such as EnVyUs, being a pain in the back line, does manage to get some kind of damage there onto Effect. So you may be losing on Effect will allow them to re-engage here as their tanks are coming back online.
Oh, it definitely will. As you see, Renegades march their way right back towards the payload. Jesus pushing all the way on through, has the Pulse Bomb. Trying to locate some of these players for Envy. Oh, it's hit right in the mouth. Here comes Effect out of the left-hand side of your screen. Yep, there it is. They'll be able to dispose of Jesus quickly. As now Envy, they have the high ground control. They're going to jump down right onto the heads of Renegades.
And they don't got to worry about that backline pressure as well. Meteor Strike comes through and Effect drops right onto the support. Oh, man, that had the smart there. Mangachu just needs to get back on to the D.Va mech, but he's just going to be staggered out here, and this is they have to hold back.
I mean, Envy's just going to back all the way out. So now Mangachu has to land some shots with D.Va. You know, you see the position that Envy's playing in. They're not going to allow him to just get some of those free shots down. So Mangachu's still not in his mech, getting very close to it. Taimu going to use the Widow ult here. So you see Jesus now still with this Pulse Bomb, trying to figure out how he can get Mickey out of this mech, but you lose Zachary here at the beginning. It's going to force Renegades to wait.
Just got to play the waiting game. They still have some time to play around with OX. 2 minutes, 8 seconds. Jesus could land a fat Pulse Bomb. The fattest of Pulse Bombs. Let's see if he gets it. Oh, no, he doesn't. It's a rather slim one.
Well, I mean, you lose Primo Dolce, so now you're forced to back up yet again. And the idea here for Renegades is if you can get Harry Hook to use that sound barrier, then you can use either of your support ults with that Dragon Blade. Oof. You can do a lot, but Taimu.
We haven't really even talked about Taimu that much.
Again on the Widowmaker, takes out Jesus, gonna force Renegades to wait even longer here. See how aggressive Taimu's playing on the Widow there. That position, just trying to get one more player coming out of the spawn, gonna be forced to back up here. It's going to be the Nano boost coming on to Coco.
There goes the Nano, and he's just bringing down the HP, prompting out the beat. Sound barriers drop. Transcendence has to be used in turn. And for Envy, this is certainly a good position for them to be in here, especially if they're able to win out this fight, because you already burned out 2 of those support ults now. They are making payload progress. So despite them using 2 support ults on that one, Renegades are able to get some progress moving here.
Well, Envy, they engage with the Nano on the Coco, and then because of the Transcendence just keeps the players on Renegades alive, then they're able to use their next support ult with their Dragon Blade.
Uh-oh.
And it was Zachary able to pick up some kills. So now we'll see, for Envy, all you have here is a self-destruct. If you're Renegades, you're in a pretty decent spot.
They go to re-engage Taimu. He knew that the 2 supports were back there. He knew that Jur was going to go and pick up his buddy as well. Does he stay alive? Yes, he does. There comes Zachary on the attack, waiting for it to go down. And while they are able to get the kill onto Zachary, Taimu will not be able to do so with his life. Effect, though. Just look at that damage that he's outputting onto Mangachu, forcing him to have to disengage. They have 20 seconds to work with X. They don't have a lot of time, and they don't have a lot to work with.
Yeah, instead of using their self-destruct on the cart, they end up just trying to launch it towards that top right and pick up a kill onto one of those supports, and they were not able to get anything for it. Coco using the Primal Rage, knocking players back. Only 5 seconds here for Renegades to get back towards the cart. It's going to be Primo Dolce jumping over the top. He's finally able to get back towards it. They get a touch. Mickey going to have this mech right back here. Harry Hook getting very close to the sound barrier here for EnVyUs.
Oh, and he gets the kill onto Primo. I mean, just such a well-timed Diva Bomb. Mangachu, good night, my friend. Shut down. Maybe Jesus keep this one going, but he immediately gets burned out, and that will do it. Overtime done. Stop them at 1. No more progress left for Renegades to accrue on that, but still they make it, relatively close. They almost get to that second point. Question is, can they hold Envy back?
I think for Envy, right? I mean, the fight didn't go in their favor, but when Renegades has used both of their support ults with that Dragon Blade to get the card around the corner, I mean, you get rid of both support ults, and then at that time, I think it was both teams with self-destruct to work with, and I think getting closer to Pulse Bomb. But I at that point, Renegades, they use their self-destruct. See, I thought they were going to try and just play the cart, and then maybe Mangachu, you use the self-destruct, clear it out a little bit, maybe you throw it back into the spawn, force Envy to just go in a different direction, like buy your team some space. But they end up just kind of like chucking it towards that top right, by the staircase and trying to get the supports down from there. And then, Mickey able to use his self-destruct, force some players back off the card. You're able to win some engagements. Then Zachary towards the end, he gets his Dragon Blade, but everybody else had already fallen for Renegades. So now it'll be EnVyUs' turn to attack. Still some time to make some changes to their comp. For Renegades, looks like you'll have Zachary on the Genji, Jesus on Tracer. Then Mangachu will stay running the Diva. Now, everybody else just pretty standard here for Renegades.
Nice little spot there for Jesus. They're going to wait for them to go down. Very common to just see the Winston just jump down, zap a couple people, and then disengage with the jump pack. But Renegades, they know that, at this point they've lost this series. Envy, they're up 3-0, which means they are the winners of the series. We play all 4 maps no matter what. And I think, for them, it's just about saving face on this and, having a good showing, potentially winning a map, taking one off of the Apex Season 1 champions. Doors are open. Let's see what Envy's going to do.
Again, Taimu looks to be running Hanzo at the beginning here, so he'll fire the Sonic Arrow up top, sees both tanks. for Renegades. Just knocking them back here. It's going to force Primo Dolce back, but Coco just gets picked out there by Mangachu. But I mean, for EnVy, you know, you have such a great spawn advantage. It's Taimu lining up a scatter out here. Maybe he was able to catch the Tracer out. But see, Taimu, he'll switch over to McCree now, so you're able to deal with some of these flankers coming in for Renegades a little bit better.
I just always love seeing Taimu play the McCree, man. And he always does so in such style. All right. Now EnVy taking this one through the underpass. Over here into the Bazaar. As he's looking to get some damage, but they end up losing out a player early on in this fight. And again, you know, shout out to Renegades for being able to, you know, get that first blood in the first 2 engagements. That's, you know, pretty big for them. But unfortunately, they are going to lose out on D.Va. And now there goes Taimu. Finds himself a kill there. Zachary goes in for the kill, and he does get it. But Effect answers back in turn, but they lost out a couple members here, so they're just going to have to play this one slow for the time being.
But now if you're EnVy, you're getting close to building some of these ults, right? You're 80% of the way to a Primal Rage. You're close to a Dragon Blade. I mean, you're going to have everything here very shortly. I think it's going to be interesting how Renegades decides to attack, right? I mean, you pull out the Dragon Blade or a Deadeye. Maybe you see, you know, the Transcendence come out with the Dragon Blade combination for Renegades. Then if you're EnVy, all you have to do is disengage. So it's going to be Transcendence coming out here from Sherlocky. And now you're going to see a Dragon Blade come out from Effect.
He waited for the Transcendence to go down, and I don't think, no, they're not going to be able to drop the beat if Jur has his way. Super close from being able to eliminate him. Jur, just barely any help. There comes the sound barrier as they push with this fight, and they end up using both of their support ults here, X, just to get that first point.
And Effect goes back and he slices through Mangachu. Mangachu actually used the self-destruct there, and he gets taken out before he can get back in the mech. Both support ults used for EnVy plus Dragon Blade. You're able to take that first point here. So now Renegades for this next fight, though, they're still in a decent spot, right? They use their Transcendence, but they didn't use their own Dragon Blade. You still have your own Pulse Bomb, and you're going to have a sound barrier here if you want to engage.
But remember, it's all about getting to that yellow tick. And look at Taimu, look where he is. You're going to have to force him back. Pulse Bomb just kind of teed up at the top to just force Taimu out of there. And that was a well thought out play there. You know, by Taimu, because, you know, he knew he had that high ground advantage, and now force him back into the room, allow them to make progress with the payload. Just not enough progress. I'm sure they would have liked to have been able to, you know, push this one a little bit forward. Ults are used for Renegades, though, as they sweep right through EnVy.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fight, though, that EnVy knows they're going to lose, right? They don't have any support ults. The other team is leading the way with a sound barrier plus a Dragon Blade. I think if you're EnVy, you're just trying to build up towards your own support ults plus your own Dragon Blade to see if you can make something happen.
And you're also kind of counting this one as well. You know that Sherlocky is relatively close, right? Of course, they don't have the clear knowledge of it, but at 50%, right, you know that they're not going to have them both in tandem, or at least not going into this next fight. So they just got to go ahead, take advantage of this opportunity. Sherlocky's going to be out of the equation, so you won't be able to build up any more ult on that one. While Effect is going to be dropped, though, still progress made with the payload. Jesus clears out Taimu, though, in turn. And I think Chips knows that this is just not a fight that he can win. Mickey, though, with the D.Va Bomb out to Germ, they're still going to keep this fight going. They do end up losing out on the Zenyatta, but still, no one on the payload to contest, so EnVy are very much in this one right around the corner, and that will do it. They will win this one 2-1.
Getting very close to pushing the payload on in. You may have one more contest come in. Primo Dolce has that Primal Rage to get back towards the cart. That's why you see EnVy back off from it. So now, you know, the Primal Rage has been burned. You know, maybe you think if you're EnVy, right, you back up a little bit. Primo Dolce maybe, no, sorry, you have Primo Dolce open with that Primal Rage. Maybe you had Sherlocky would have burned that Transcendence there as well, because you think EnVy is just playing the card. But EnVy backs up. You have the Transcendence for the side of Renegades. You have a Dragon Blade as well. The Transcendence comes out.
There goes the Transcendence. X, you called it. Well, let's see how they're going to play this out, as Taimu's going to be waiting for players to push. Jur's going to be so weak. He is going to get picked off there by Taimu, and he's just continuing to just get free poke, be a pain in the neck for Renegades to have to deal with. 3.44 meters remaining. Can they take Mangachu out before he can get into his mech? He does get into the mech. Despite that, he'll be all by his lonesome here. Teammates funneling through, so close, 3.25 meters now. Dragon Blade's gonna be out there for Effect, and he gets 2 with it. That will do it, GG. The boys in blue win it in 4.
Yeah, and EnVy has both of their support ults there towards the end. They have Dragon Blade, they go in. It's the Primal Rage from Primo Dolce. He actually used it to get back towards the cart. EnVy backs all the way up. So you don't have that Winston ult to kind of knock players around. Maybe, you know,
Yeah.
Primo Dolce has that there towards the end, right? You stay alive a little bit longer on the cart. Jur earns his sound barrier. Maybe you make it a little bit more interesting if you're Renegades. But Envy takes the series in a commanding fashion in 4-0. Though I did think we did see better play from Renegades today than we've seen over the last few weeks.
I do agree with you on that one, X. It's just Envy's really good at taking advantage of these opportunities, right? You can put Taimu in a position where he's not going to be contested because they know that they have to prioritize the payload because it's literally right there. And that's just like the game that Envy plays, right? They know when they have the upper hand, and they just know how to execute so well.
Well, it's so hard there on that second Streets phase for Renegades because you have Taimu on the Widowmaker, you know, towards the end of the game, where he gets it up top, and you know you have Jur on the Lucio, you have your Zenyatta. They don't want to keep like poking out, and there's so much open area there. There's not really a great opportunity for them to hide and heal their teammates. It forces them out into the open, allows Taimu to get some nice picks.
Yeah, but hey, at the end of the day, though, this was as you mentioned, a better Renegades team than what we've seen in the past.
Still results in a loss, though.
Yeah. Yes, but at the very least, though, we got more Orisa, Torb, Symmetra. Anyway, I know a guy who really likes to run that particular composition. His name is Chris Puckett, and I know he wants to talk all about it. Over to you, buddy.
My